Joining us now is Lux Capital co-founder Josh Wolfe. Lux Capital has investments in a number of defense tech startups, including Anduril, and a number of other industries, too. We're going to get to all of it, Josh. It's great to have you back on the show. But I do want to start right there with those comments from Karp, because we have also seen in the last couple of days the increasing push with the Biden administration putting out this national security memorandum around AI, this increasing push to see more AI in more defense, more national security, more intelligence capabilities. And given what we did see with these targeted strikes over the weekend, just wanted to start right there with you and the role that artificial intelligence and some of these new technological capabilities are playing on the battlefield.
Well, I happen to agree with Alex. He's a friend and a great leader and a great American. The key thing here is scientific and technological superiority. What Alex is talking about at Palantir and many of the people that they're partnering with, many of the companies in our portfolio, Anduril and Hadrian and Saildrone and Varda, all the people that are at the cutting edge of aerospace and defense all start with the premise that they have some technological breakthrough, that they can do something that nobody else in the world can do. And we want in our country companies and capabilities that have things that nobody else in the world can do. That is what Israel delivered. That is what the U.S. is able to deliver. That is what we need against our adversaries, scientific and technological superiority. We see that in hard power, in the technologies of new ventures in aerospace and defense. We've been putting close to $1 billion into that field. And we have a new initiative, particularly around the soft power piece, which is the new cutting edge scientific and technological breakthroughs that are coming out of universities, in some cases coming out of big tech, that we can spin out and start brand new ventures on to deliver those kinds of capabilities.
And of course, that's Lux Labs, which is the news that you're coming to us with. So what does that entail, and how does that help to feed the pipeline for future tech and for future entrepreneurs?
You look at even the woman who invented the mRNA vaccine, and she was told that she wasn't of sort of faculty quality. We have massive institutional bureaucracy inside of our scientific institutions, and you need people that are the entrepreneurs and the founders and the venture capitalists like us, not only to fund these companies, but in some cases to help create them, to help incept them. So we love to be there at the founding moment, to be the first funder, but we also like to help co-found or create these companies. Sometimes that's coming out of university lab. We've done that out of Columbia and biotech. We've done that out of big companies like Apple and Google and Meta. Out of Apple, we've taken two companies, one focused on 4D LiDAR for autonomous driving, one that hasn't yet been announced in cutting-edge batteries. Out of Google, we've done two companies, one that we co-founded to digitize olfaction called Osmo, and another that we were the first funders in for physical intelligence, which is their core robotics brain company, basically developing AI for the future of robotics. And then out of Meta, we were the founding investors in Evolutionary Scale, which was the key team developing frontier models for AI and biology. And we're going to continue to do that, both take advantage of the capital market cycle where interest rates are rising, big companies are saying we're going to shut down some of these groups, and also helping to free up the bureaucracy from the institutional sclerotic processes that are in university labs, where we can take these technologies and deliver them to consumers, to commercial businesses, and ultimately, in defense cases, to the warfighter.
Hey, Josh, 5 years ago, the narrative I was hearing overwhelmingly is that China had an AI advantage because of its massive population and communist willingness to use everybody's data for its own purposes. Now that narrative seems to have shifted. I don't hear as often concerns about TikTok and U.S. data getting sucked out to China. What's the right framing of what's changed with OpenAI and NVIDIA's rise over the last 2-3 years, and what America's advantage really is at this point?
Well, TikTok still is a problem. There's a whole group of us that have been pushing not for banning TikTok, but for helping to divest it from an adversary to the U.S. I think that's critically important. U.S. technological superiority is the key thing. NVIDIA is a U.S. company. Apple is a U.S. company. OpenAI is a U.S. company. We want to continue to see those likes of those pioneering companies, from the Andurils and Saildrones of the next generation to the big tech seven that are really American companies. China is a formidable threat. The AI models that they have, particularly in video, in generative text and images, it's a problem that we're going to face, particularly for disinformation, whether it's in a political year like we have today, where half the world is going to the voting booths, or whether it's influencing what people believe going forward. I will say, on the basic science piece, this is even more important. 22 of the last 28 years, we have seen decline in basic spending in the United States, whereas China has tripled their basic science spending. So we have to get very serious about long horizon scientific research. That is the basis for the future NVIDIAs and Apples and Andurils. We've got to continue to fund that. That's why Lux Labs is here to help take that stuff and midwife it into the commercial markets and help these brilliant entrepreneurial scientists with everything that they might need, and also back the incredible founders that are coming out of the big tech companies that already have that entrepreneurial energy and just need an early person to believe in them. The number one quote that I love from Linus Pauling, the most famous Nobel laureate in our world here at Lux, is that I know something that the rest of the world doesn't know, and they won't know until I tell them. That is the addictive power of science, and from science comes great power. So finding these breakthrough researchers, finding their breakthrough scientific results and funding them and commercializing them before anybody else in the world can do it is a critical competitive advantage. Attracting these scientists to our shores and keeping them here is also